Good evening and thank you for keeping it KTN. It's time for Business Now. My name is Joy Doreen Bira. News that the central bank had put Imperial Bank under receivership has raised anxiety in the country. The bank has stirred memories of the 90s when weak banks could collapse with all the hopes and dreams of its debtors. And the market has been thrown into frenzy, forcing the Central Bank of Kenya to step in and reassure the market. Here is Adelaide Changole with more on that story.
Kenya's banking sector was abuzz with activity on Wednesday as the market sought to make sense on the central bank's decision to put Imperial Bank under receivership.
What happened was that the directors of Imperial Bank are the ones on their own volition that detected some inappropriate banking practices within the bank and decided to report the matter to the central bank.
The news that the Central Bank of Kenya had put yet another bank under receivership just 2 months after announcing that it would be liquidating Dubai Bank galvanized worried investors into action. The market woke up to news of a perceived bank run on some of the country's smaller banks as debtors sought to safeguard the Nairobi Securities Exchange, where all the listed lenders, with the exception of I&M Bank, were in the red as investors dumped the stocks.
So we haven't seen any banks, experiencing a bank run. There was some bit of excitement in the market because of the information.
The Kenya Bank Association has, however, blamed the losing streak on a list of banks said to be circulating on social media. According to the list, 20 of the country's 43 banks were said to be at risk of collapsing, which only worked to fuel an already precarious situation.
The time when the National Treasury had proposed to increase the core capital requirement for the commercial banks from 1 billion to 5 billion. And then somebody drew up the lists of the banks that were below the 5 billion mark. And that's how this list of the 22 banks came about. But this has got nothing to do with their soundness, nor their liquidity, nor their financial standing in the market. So it is an issue of a list that was drawn for a different purpose, being perpetrated through the, being circulated through the social media as a list portraying banks in a different light.
The central bank also stepped in to calm market jitters, adding that the banking sector remained safe and robust. The regulator also said it would use all the instruments at its disposal to provide liquidity support to the banking system to ensure stability. Should
there be a problem, I think central bank is ready to step in to stabilize the market.
That, however, did little to calm nerves. The resultant sense of panic fueled what analysts have called the flight to quality, which threatened the well-being of the financial sector and could have a significant impact on the well-being of the country's entire economy.
I think that's a very powerful message that is coming from the regulator to the market out there, that they have got no issues with the banking sector. This is a specific problem that was in a particular individual institution level.
The latest actions just add to the woes that have afflicted Kenyan banks since the start of the year. Only time will tell if the banks can weather the storm and maintain their winning ways. Adelaide Changole, KTN Business.